I sold at the market as this bar was forming. We had two small attempts up at support here, and we failed, started to accelerate down. So I sold at the market looking for a give up bar and potentially some follow through. So I'll see how this bar closes. If this bar doesn't end up as a big surprise breakout and has a big tail on the bottom, I'll just exit at the close of the bar. But if it closes on this low, I'll bet on some follow through, and I'll take profits down here, maybe around 20 cents. So this close is important. It's a pretty good close. Okay, got out there for 20 cents. So $1 profit. I was thinking about holding for test yesterday's low, but this bar didn't become a big surprise bar. It's still the same size as these two. So when I entered at the market, I was hoping for it to accelerate down and become a much bigger bar, but it didn't. So I'm okay with just taking the 20 cents there. I just bought this close here. My reasoning for this trade is that normally when we get a move down like this, followed by 4 good bull bars, you'd expect a higher low. And so what I used to do in this kind of situation is I used to see that we have a potential final flag here, but then a really strong breakout, and then a strong reversal up. So I'd expect a higher low, and I just buy with a limit order at a 50% pullback. So I'd buy with a limit order at 50% pullback, and then place my stop below here. And what kept happening is that when we got a good signal bar or 2 consecutive bear bars, I used to get stopped out, only to see the price reverse back up to my entry. So I kept getting stopped out, and I felt like I had a good entry price, but I kept losing money on them. So what I decided to do is, instead of buying at 50%, I said I'd wait for a higher low signal bar. So if we get a signal bar here, I'll buy. But if we don't get a signal bar and we just reverse straight down, I'll buy where I used to get stopped out. So if we try to break down below this rally and turn it into a double top bear flag and then a measured move down, if we try to break down but we don't successfully break down and we get some kind of failure, then I'll buy, betting that we get back up to the 50% pullback, because that's what I noticed kept happening. It kept getting back up to my entry price. So now what I'm doing is kind of a reverse of what I used to do, which is instead of getting stopped out, I'm buying where I used to get stopped out, and I'm looking to take profits at where my initial entry used to be, because I kept seeing it get back up there. So it looks pretty good so far. I'm hoping we can get a little bit higher. This is my first time doing that, so I didn't want to trade full size. I only traded 2 shares, and I had my stop a measured move down from this, betting that we wouldn't get the measured move breakdown. All right, just exited there. Really happy to see that work out the way I had it planned. So huge adjustment from where I was a year ago. The fact that I was able to do this and correct that old mistake makes me feel pretty good about my progress. So 50-cent scalp on 2 shares, so $1, so up $2 now. Yeah, just really happy with that trade. I have an order to buy above this bar. Buying a little bit high, but I think this breakout bar is good enough that we might have to test higher. There's a target here at the high of the sell climax, so we might pause there, but we also have a double bottom bull flag here, a breakout pullback, so this could be a leg 1, leg 2 type of situation where we might end up somewhere up here. So I thought it'd be worth it to see if we get that swing. If not, if we fail here and get a signal bar, I'll exit. I think it's reasonable though. The only thing that is making me nervous is the sell climax high. Because of the sell climax high here, I'm going to scalp out of half at 20 cents. My 20-cent target is a couple cents above the sell climax high, so hoping it gets there. If it keeps failing here though, I'll just take it a bit early. Okay, so I'm out 3 shares there at 20 cents. And I'll leave 2 shares to see if we continue higher, but I think that sell climax high might be significant enough to make a stall here. I move my stop 20 cents below this bull bar. I don't want to see a collapse, so if we fall 20 cents below the bull bar, I'll exit. If we get a bear bar closing on its low, I'll exit. Okay, just exited below that bear bar. Two pretty strong bull bars, so I'm not sure if that's enough to sell, but enough for me to get out because we reversed down from that sell climax high. I guess the mistake was I should have taken my full position out there. So at 260 now, I'll probably stop trading at 2 because we have an FOMC meeting. So I'm not comfortable trading after those announcements. So I'll be done in an hour and a half. So hopefully I get something else in that time. I didn't get this last trade recorded because I actually wasn't planning on taking it. I was planning on being done for the day. And then I saw this start to accelerate down after 2 legs up and then three bear bars or 3 bars down, a flag, low too short, and then we started to accelerate. So I thought I sold as it was accelerating, looking for a test down here or this higher low here. And because it was so quick, I didn't think it through. I didn't think about my exit strategy. And my exit strategy in these kinds of situations, if I'm selling when a bar is accelerating, is always to make sure the bar closes on its low. If it fades to close and closes above support like it did here, I need to exit. And I wasn't thinking it through. I didn't exit. I waited, kept my stop here, and as we started to rally, I just moved my target up to take a smaller loss. But I should have just exited at the close of this bar because of that big tail. So I messed that up. And then got stopped out above here for a pretty big loss. I sold 10 shares. I didn't think about risk mitigation or not losing my profits from earlier today. So I pretty much lost everything from today and yesterday. Down 277. So I lost the 260 from today and the 280 from yesterday. So tough loss. And could have been avoided if I just followed my rules here to exit at the close. But I didn't. So tough loss, and probably, actually definitely done now because it's almost 2. So that's a tough one to take and to finish the day with, but hopefully come back and trade better tomorrow. This is a tough one though.